Hello and welcome back to The Weekend. If you are new to the channel, please kindly subscribe. Things got bubbled out when the pioneer and leader of the United Democratic Movement, UDM, General Bantu Holomisa, when he was tested on his view about what had occurred between SCOPA and Eskom board part Busisiwe Mavuso. Busisiwe Mavuso told SCOPA that what's going on at Eskom is the African National Congress wreck sadly that got her driven out of the seating. General Bantu Holomisa took it to Twitter to communicate his view by saying that Mavuso impacts government officials, won't blame everything on the writer. She accounted appropriately by directing finger toward the decision party. What SCOPA expected to do was to ask her to make sense of for what reason she suspected as much as opposed to pursuing her away. Unfortunately, things got bubbled out when Fudi went after the overall Bantu Holomisa openly and let him know that his reasoning doesn't seem okay. That is where the leader of United Democratic Movement flew off the handle and said that stay with your shrewd psyche to Fudi, whom he even calls her an appointed authority. To add, UDM pioneer Bantu Holomisa isn't persuaded by President Cyril Ramaphosa's vow that no assets implied for alleviation and the revamping of KwaZulu-Natal will wind up in degenerate hands. Ramaphosa guaranteed debasement hyenas they won't get a penny of the more than 1 billion rands delivered to help those impacted by wrecking floods that attacked the area recently. Responding to Ramaphosa's remarks, Holomisa recommended debasement runs profound. They say old propensities fanatic, particularly when you are encircled by problematic characters, he said. Holomisa had before cautioned about the plundering of assets and assets implied for the desperate when he posted an image of hyenas close by the words, "Not once more please." Friends looking at crisis assets in KZN. National Treasury has distinguished 1 billion rands in possibility hold assets for divisions to help those impacted, while human settlements serve Mameloko Kubei said her specialty would draw about R1.6 billion from its own assets saved for such catastrophes to assist with modifying harmed homes. Government is likewise considering raising transitory private units on stands where it is protected to revamp harmed homes and giving impacted families 8,000 rands vouchers they can use to buy building materials. Talking last week during a location on aid projects in KwaZulu-Natal, Ramaphosa said, "There can be no space for debasement, and there can be no space for blunder or misrepresentation of any kind." Gaining from the experience of the COVID-19 pandemic, we are attracting together partners to be important for an oversight construction to guarantee all assets dispensed to this catastrophe are appropriately represented and that the state gets an incentive for cash. With regards to foundation, the cooperation of specialists, designers, amount assessors and the people who are specialists in building will help us so we don't overpay for the framework modify and we get an incentive for cash. Still up in the air there be straightforwardness and responsibility as the ventures are cost and carried out as well as how assets are conveyed all along, not after the cash has either been squandered or taken. His words were reverberated by KwaZulu-Natal head Siles Ikalala, who said no measure of defilement, maladministration, and extortion will be endured or connected with this area. The DA said it would advance explicit recommendations to get together Speaker Nasivo Mapising Kakula on the best way to fortify the oversight powers of Parliament and forestall the maltreatment of influence and public cash under a public condition of calamity. Hope you enjoy the video and please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment.